Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, Nurse Lexi. So I wanted to start this video off with just a big thank you to everyone who subscribes, likes, comments, talks to me on Instagram, everything. A year ago, I would have never guessed that I would be doing YouTube. So I just want to thank you guys for all the support. But anyways, this video is going to be about advice for pre-nursing students. So if you are in high school, if you're in college taking your prereqs, if you don't know what you're doing with your life and you think you might want to be a nurse, any of those categories, just go ahead and keep watching. I have some tips for you guys. Alright guys, so this video is going to be about tips for pre-nursing students. So my number one tip is going to be know why you want to be a nurse. You know, have a why, have a reason that's going to keep you motivated. That's not just some surface level, oh, like I want to wear scrubs and look cute, or I see these nurses on TV and I want to do that. Have a good reason, because if you like helping people and if you like medicine or healthcare, you could literally be a physical therapist, a doctor, a PA, an occupational therapist, a pharmacist. Like, there are a million different career paths within healthcare. So figure out why out of all those you want to be a nurse. You know, what about the nursing career really appeals to you? And I think that's important because that's what's going to keep you motivated. Like when you don't feel like studying and you're tired and you're just over it, your why is what's going to keep you pushing towards that goal, you know, because I love nursing for this reason. I know for me, I wasn't really 100% when I decided to go into nursing. I chose it, but I wasn't really like all in, and now I am because I've gone through it and I realized that I really do like the career. So even if you're like on the fence a little bit and you really think you do want to be a nurse but you're not sure, go for it. Because when you go to clinicals and you see what the nurses do, you're either going to be like, I hate this and I would never want to do this, or I could see myself doing this. So have a good reason why. I have friends that, you know, started the program and realized that they wanted to do other things within healthcare. I have friends that just completely changed their career path. So it's also okay to not know. You know, we're still young. You know, you're gonna change your mind. Some people are gonna change their mind. They get into nursing and they want to do something else, or they do something else and then they want to get into nursing. So try to have a good reason why, but don't like kill yourself and put yourself under a bunch of pressure, because we're still young. We still have some time to figure it out. That's my number one, and I think that's the most important tip. So my second piece of advice is to start planning as early as possible. If you do know that you want to be a nurse and you're in high school or you're taking your prereqs, just start to kind of put things into place so that you can set yourself up for success. And planning, what I mean by that is looking up nursing programs. Okay, so like, let's say you're in high school and you know you want to go off to college and have fun and party and go to university, which is what I did. That's what a lot of people want to do. When you look up your university, also look up their nursing program. Look up, you know, what's the average GPA that gets accepted. Look up their acceptance rate. Some nursing programs are super competitive, so you need to know where you stand and if you have a good chance of getting in. So definitely start planning as soon as possible. Look up the program you want to get into. Also look up other programs, because not to be negative, but to be realistic, if you don't get into your nursing program of choice and you didn't apply anywhere else, you could be waiting around for semesters, 1, 2, however many semesters you are put on a wait list or whatever. So if you really want to set yourself up for success, apply to your program and apply to other ones that are around you, just in case. I know people that apply to, like in Florida, they apply to like UCF, Nova, USF, like literally everywhere, because then they have a better chance of getting into somewhere, and then you have options. You know, ideally you want to get into the nursing program at the university you go to, or at the community college you go to, wherever you're at, but kind of just apply, because it's better to have more options than to be stuck waiting, you know, with no options because you only applied to that one school and they're super competitive and you didn't get in. So kind of just apply to multiple programs, and when you're applying to every program, you want to look up the prereqs, look up what they require. So let me tell you guys about me. So I applied to my program and I had I thought I had all the prereqs. I was like, I got this. I took every class I needed, whatever. So come to find out, I didn't pay really close attention, and the nutrition course that I took wasn't the one that my program accepted. So I was shook. I was like, I do not have time to take this one class and then get accepted into my program like a semester later. So what I did was I had to go to advising and kind of get them to compare the course I took to the one that they were requiring and show them that it's pretty much the same. So like, please let the credits, count for the class I took. I really don't want to retake it, pay this money to take this other nutrition course. So basically, I had to do all that. It was a big headache. They ended up accepting my course for that nutrition course. So honestly, thank God, but you don't want to be in that position. So really pay attention to the courses that you took and the courses that they require. Make sure they match up. If you have a course that's kind of similar, talk to advising, talk to them, ask them if it's going to transfer over, because you don't want to be the one that applies and you think you have everything together and you really don't, and then you kind of screw yourself. So definitely pay attention to your prereqs. Also with prereqs, when you are taking like anatomy and physio, definitely pay attention to the class. When you get into the nursing program, they're gonna expect you to know those things. They're gonna expect you to know how the GI system works, how blood flows through the heart, the parts of the brain. They really are gonna expect you to know that, and they're not really gonna reteach it to you. So if you don't pay attention to it, or if you just learn it for a test and then forget it, you're just gonna end up having to relearn it again. Honestly, I've had to relearn a lot of things because I didn't really keep it in my brain. But don't be like me, be better than me. Actually pay attention to the classes. And also with planning, this all goes under planning as early as possible. You want to look up what entrance exam the program requires. For example, I applied to a program that didn't require any entrance exam. The one I got into required the T's, and I obviously have a video on that. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it if you're studying for the T's. I did really good. But look up what entrance exam they require, because it could be the T's, it could be the HESI, it could be Kaplan. So you don't want to study for, the T's and then turns out that your school requires the HESI. So kind of do your research on that as well. All right, so one more thing with planning is to look up the application cycle. Look up when the school accepts applicants, whether it's every semester or only in the fall or only in the fall and spring. Look that up so that you can organize yourself, organize your prereqs, and know when you want to take everything, so that you don't have this huge gap between when you're accepted and when you actually get to start. Because ideally, you kind of want to be done with your prereqs and then get right into the nursing program. But sometimes it works out where, you're taking a prereq and then you get accepted, but you don't start for like 1 or 2 more semesters. So look up the application cycle so that you have a good idea of how much time you're going to have in between. Like maybe you could work, or maybe you could take other classes or pick up a minor, things like that. So that just is the last sub tip under starting as early as possible, planning as early as possible. All right, so my tip number 3 is going to be to start forming your study habits now, whether you are, like I said, in high school or taking your prereqs. You want to get into the habit of being organized, having a planner, getting good grades, actually studying and keeping the information in your head, because it's only going to get harder in nursing school. I really had to change a lot of my study habits and study a lot more when I started nursing school versus my prereqs. So if you can start that earlier and already have that habit formed, that's really going to save you a lot of trial and error, and it's also going to save you a lot of time and headache. So learn from my mistakes, you guys. Start your studying habits now. Get a planner, write things down, stay on track of things, do things early. Just get yourself in that mindset, because all that stuff is really important in nursing school. If you are not on top of it, it is so easy to just drown, because you have class, assignments, papers, clinical projects. Just get in the mindset of forming all those good habits now. That's a big one. My tip number 4, I think I'm on 4, is to go to the College of Nursing and get some advising. If you know you want to get into this program, go talk to them. Ask them how you should set up your schedule. You know, tell them about your GPA, and then they can tell you like how competitive it is, like the likelihood of getting accepted. Ask them for tips. Just get to know them, because these are the same people that are going to be looking through the applications and choosing the nursing students. So not to say that talking to them is going to get you in. You do still have to do the work, obviously, and like do good, but it doesn't hurt to get to know them, and it doesn't hurt to like have your foot in the door, you know them, have a good relationship with them, and get advice from them. I know when I went to advising, I feel like my lady she really had my back, and she's the one that pointed out my whole nutrition class thing and got me to handle that before I turned in my application so that I would be set. That was a big headache, but shout out to her, because I would have been screwed and I would have had to like take that course, or I would have had to wait another semester to start, which I did not want to do. So just go to your advising office, talk to them, get to know them, tell them you want to be a nurse, blah, 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 and get some help from them. All right. And then my other tip, I kind of lost count of the numbers. My other one is to try to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, you know, like join pre-nursing clubs or pre-health clubs, or even just community service clubs. Kind of surround yourself with people that are going to motivate you and keep you motivated and keep you on the right track. It is so easy to get distracted, and it's honestly so easy, especially if you have peer pressure or your friends telling you, don't study, come out, let's go to the club, let's go to this day party. It is important to have balance and to still hang out with your friends and do fun things, but you need to have friends that are going to support you on this journey and not just tell you that you study too much. So surround yourself with people that also want to be nurses or also want to be in healthcare. It doesn't have to just be nursing. Or people that are just motivated in general. You can have a friend that wants to be an engineer and you guys study together, you know. Just don't surround yourself with people that don't have anything going for themselves, that are going to bring you down, because it is so easy to fall into that trap. And then my last tip, and this is like the second most important one, is to stay motivated and don't give up. So being a pre-nursing student is not easy. It can be just as stressful as nursing school, because you're trying to plan all these things, and it's so easy to get discouraged, especially if you don't get into a program the first time or like the program of your choice. I have dealt with rejection. I applied to these accelerated programs and I thought I was like hot shit, like, oh yeah, I'm about to get in, and I did not. So sometimes you have to deal with rejection. Just know that it doesn't define you. It doesn't mean that you are less than. It just means that something better is coming, and it just means for you to try again and to try harder. So don't be just don't give up. Honestly, don't give up. If you really want to be a nurse, go for it. If you have to do like the ASN first and then your BSN, do that. If you want to do LPN and then RN, do that. There are so many ways to become a registered nurse. You know, don't give up. It's worth it. If you really want to do it, it's worth it. And don't let anything get in your way. If I would have stopped after I didn't get into those accelerated programs, I don't know what I would be doing, probably working and hating my life. So don't let rejection keep you from what you want to do. Period. But that's pretty much all my advice. I really hope this is helpful. If you guys have any more questions, if you're a pre-nursing student, have any more questions or want some advice, slide in my DMs on Instagram, or leave a comment down below and I'll get to that. But if you actually did like the video, go ahead and like it, and don't forget to subscribe if you also want to keep up with my other videos, and don't forget to hit the bell wherever it is on YouTube, the bell that lets you know that I uploaded a video so that you can be the first ones to watch it. So don't forget to do all that, and thank you guys so much for watching.